Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. I want to talk quickly about compatibility with a Filipina. A lot of guys say, well, they want to find as much compatibility as they can. So let's talk about that today. I think that adaptability is very important. Adaptability, so you might not always be the same in everything you'd like, and the ability to appreciate her uniqueness also factors into this. And you know what, we subtly can change over time. I've been married to my wife for 7.5 years. She's been here for roughly 7 years. So I'm sure both of us would say that we've changed, or we're at least not exactly the person that we thought we were marrying. And so we just continue to make adaptations. From a place called marriage.com, I saw this comment: to be in a compatible relationship, you and your partner must agree, adapt to each other's lifestyles, cooperate in your goals, and be attuned to one another's personality. If you disagree with your partner's ideas, suggestions, and perspective, then it is a sign that both of you are not compatible. So what I liked about this was agreement, cooperation, and be attuned. So let me run through this really quick because I have some other things to say. They list 15 signs of compatibility. They talk about physical attraction. I think that kind of goes without saying. Number 2, you like the partner the way they are. You cannot keep looking for the perfect person because you will absolutely never find them. Number 3, freedom to be yourself. Very important. I can be myself. I hope my wife feels she can be herself. That makes me feel very, very freed up to not have to be perfect or live up to certain norms. I want to be the best husband I can be, but I like being able to dress like I want to dress or do some things like I want to do. Number 4, no atom of doubt about your love. Be sure. 5, common goals and interests. Common doesn't mean everything has to be the same. They say, what makes a couple compatible? It's simple. You and your partner are compatible if you have similar interests and pursue the same goals. However, not all interests must be shared. Then they have number 6, complete openness, agree. Number 7, you're willing to work things out amicably. I agree with that. Compatibility. And number 8, you are not ashamed of your partner. Don't be ashamed. There's an age gap, something like that. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed to show her to your family and friends and co-workers, no matter what they might think. That's your wife. You've been committed to her. She's number 1. Number 9, you like each other's family. Of course, that's a good point. Number 10, you are each other's priority. And that may be at different times where you're prioritizing each other. It may not be all the time at the same time, but it will shift from time to time. Number 11, you don't blame one another. Number 12, for compatibility, you have similar philosophies in life. I like that one. Let me know what you think about these thoughts from marriage.com. 13, a willingness to grow together. Yes, marriage is for the long term. Like I said, things change. You marry this person, you like this or that about that person. You think it's going to go a certain way, but life changes. They grow up and mature, especially if they're a lot younger than you are. They're still learning and shaping themselves. Have a willingness to grow together, especially with her as she, goes through some slight changing or a maturation process. Number 4, patience. If you can be patient with each other, that's necessary, but also shows you have good compatibility. Sacrifice, they say here, number 15, sacrifice is the apex of every successful relationship. That's what I've been saying. It's very important. Partners should be willing to sacrifice for their spouse or partner. Sacrifice, they say, can be in terms of meeting your partner's needs, satisfying their desires, etc. Being able to sacrifice for each other is one of the most important signs of compatibility. So I do agree with that. There's lots of ways you can look at this, and I hope I don't end up, confusing people. But, I had somebody once tell me that if you're both the same, one of you is unnecessary. True. But I also heard somebody else tell me, Well, the main thing is to have as much compatibility, that's not the word they used, as you can. As much similarity, I think they said. So similarity, compatibility, these are kind of the same things, but there's kind of different. Compatible means having or marked by agreement in feeling or action. Okay, so that doesn't mean they have to be exactly like you are, have the same interests and hobbies, because if you're from America and the woman is thousands of miles away in the Philippines, you're not going to have the same hobbies. You're probably not going to have the same interests. That's okay. I don't think you have to be. Some synonyms: united, cooperative, harmonious, congenial, and agreeable, amicable. Now, I like those because they're different shades of this color. Compatibility, you want to have important things in common, like worldview. For example, religion should be compatible or comparable. But I think some people look at compatibility as being, like sameness. I think you should learn to become compatible, find things that interest each other, try something if it's new to you, so that you can say, my wife and I like to do this. Take my wife to a basketball game or football game. Maybe she'll like that. We go to these theatrical plays that my wife enjoys. Now I like them too. If my wife wasn't so busy with school and work, we would do that again. You dress up a little bit, and my wife just loves the acting and the singing and the plots and the costumes and the set changes, and it's very skillfully done. Very talented people doing those plays. So the two of us, 27-year age difference, different country, different culture, I've tried to acquiesce to her, be amicable with her, learn to like the things that she likes, see if I might like them too. I like the word, comparability, like things you want to think about when it comes to compatibility. Not the same thing, not everything about her. We like the same things, forget it. So comparability would be words like similarity, a likeness, correspondence. Do you correspond to each other? And if so, in which ways? Parity, there's that word compatibility again. Affinity. Now, one word is identicalness, which is what I want to caution you against. Forget identical. They're not going to be identical with anybody out there. Correlation, semblance. I don't like sameness. We don't want to be looking for somebody that's the same, because you'll be looking until the day you die if you do that. Likeness is good, because if you, and I should say this before I run out of time, some things that you have differences in can actually strengthen the relationship. Like that person said, if you're both the same, one of you isn't necessary. So the differences, be glad about those differences. Don't marry somebody where the differences are so severe that you think, boy, this is going to be tough to stay married. Well, then, yeah, you're probably too different, too dissimilar. You're too distinct, too much disparity and inequality and unlikeness. You don't want that. Find the main things that you have in common. Be willing to try different things to be able to assimilate your lives together. Be glad that you're different. Just make sure those differences don't end up causing a lot of trouble with your love beyond the sea.